Hello, alright, so this is a special video because it's about how to kind of put everything together, you know? Okay, so like leftovers. So like if you're following the recipe, if you're following the regime, if you're following the diet, Angie's mostly vegan ITAL regime diet on the playlist, then you can make almost anything out of those ingredients. So look, so here I got, look, it's just like, I needed a gravy, so I just dripped out some of the juices from the chicken pot au feu soup. I made some roux. So now I'm going to put some of that roux inside. Here, see, I got some roux right there. So I didn't put any potatoes in the, gravy. I just got some moisture. It has little pieces of chicken in it and a carrot, and I smashed the carrot up and tried to make it all a thing. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it. Turned out a little bit thick, and I need more quantity anyway. Okay, I've got some corn boiling. It's definitely cooked enough. Actually, here's some potatoes. I cook these like Spanish tortilla style. I call them Spanish cut potatoes. I put a little bit of onions in it. It's done too. I'm gonna turn that off before they're overcooked. Well, I've really made this gravy too thick. Add some salt to that. So like in theory, gravy is just, you've been cooking meat, you've been cooking like a meal, like a steak and potatoes type meal, and you've got all these like chicken or beef or whatever, all these things left over on the frying pan. So then you make like ideally you would make a roux. It is possible to use cornstarch, that's a different way, but like in theory you would just make like a roux, and then you just you do like what I'm doing, but you scrape the bottom with the fork, so you're pulling up all the crumbs and everything from all the meat and all this stuff you've been doing. There, that looks a little bit better. I'm going to taste just a little bit. Yeah, totally. Yep, tastes totally good. It is a little bland. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm going to turn off the heat and stir that up. There. See? See how I did that? You know what gravy looks like. So you just kind of just keep working with it until it looks like a gravy. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to put those on the plate. There, look at that. Look at those onions when they roast like that. So I just did the Spanish cut tortilla, Spanish cut peeled potatoes. These are 2 small ones. And I fried it in olive oil until it looked good, and then I added some diced onions and some Greek seasoning, my favorite, to it. There, that's there. Now I'm going to get the gravy and put that on it. Okay, there's the potatoes with the gravy on it. Oh boy, that's going to be good. I was imagining it's to go. So like the point is you just you throw this together, okay? So like the chicken pot au feu soup, I'm like approaching the end of the week, and I actually made it a little bit early, so it needs to get eaten. And I've already picked out most of the chicken, so it's like chicken pot au feu soup with like less chicken than it's supposed to have in it. So I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I do, And then I came up with this. Why don't you cut up a potato? You have potatoes that need to get eaten, and make a gravy out of it. And then I also had some turkey ham. So I had some turkey ham that needs to get eaten. And I have some stewed tomatoes. So I'm going to get the corn and I'm going to drain the water. So the thing is raising my son, like seriously, I'd be like, oh crap, you know, I was always just completely broke. So I was like, crap, I don't have any money for food. You know, and I'd go, what do I have in my cupboard? And I'd go through everything I have, and I'd be like, oh, well, I have a ketchup packet, 4 grains of rice, an apple peel, and like, you know, like, I'd have just like an impossible sounding bunch of things, and I would totally make up that. I'd say, here you go, Tari, dinner served, and be like, wow. He was always so amazed at the things I'd come up with. So that's what I'm trying to say, see, so the potatoes needed to get eaten. Chicken pot-au-feu soup without hardly any chicken in it. So I didn't pull it. I was going to put it on potatoes, so I didn't keep any potatoes. I just drained it out and smashed it up and made it a liquid. Made a roux, smashed it in, turned it into a gravy. A big old slice of turkey ham that needs to get eaten. And then some corn. I always have frozen corn in the fridge. And some stewed tomatoes. I'm a huge stewed tomato fan. I freaking love stewed tomatoes. Oh my freaking gosh. And so when I was a cook at the old folks' home, the veterans' home, sometimes we would just serve them just stewed tomatoes. And you would just open up a can of stewed tomatoes, you'd heat it up, and that'd be like the side vegetable for that meal. And some of the other people are like, oh my gosh, how plain and ordinary and gross. And I love stewed tomatoes. So then the older people, I don't know if it's like an older people thing. I'm putting a little garlic salt in it. But stewed tomatoes are so freaking fantastic. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put a little bit of oregano in it. And a little bit. Hello! Oh, it always scares the crap out of me. I'm going to turn the ham off. Apparently I've cooked it enough. I have a really sensitive fire thing, disgustingly sensitive. Turn that over. I purposely want the ham to be, yeah, that's good. That's maybe a teeny bit more cooked than I want, but it's not too much. That's okay. Turning off the heat there, turning off the heat here. All the heat's off. Let these tomatoes sit in there a little bit longer. They just need to get hot. I'm going to get this ham. I'm going to put that there. Yum. Okay. There that is. I'm going to put a little bit of Dijon mustard on there. It's probably a little weird, but I'm feeding just myself. So the only person I need to impress is just myself. And dang it. Apparently I need to get more, but that's exactly how much I need. Looks a little gross. It was a little watery. It's Dijon mustard though, so that's going to be delicious. Actually, I'll mix it up. Like if I was serving stuff to my son, I would say Dijon, with a little bit of Dijon. You know? Now I'll put that on there. Voila. It's a little weird looking, but those potatoes are going to be, those are going to be good. Stewed tomatoes with corn, I've had that. It's really good. You can actually buy stuff like that. Overcooked turkey ham with some Dijon mustard. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So, I just made something up. That doesn't exist. Have you ever seen any of those things? So you just make things. You look at what you have. You say, let's see, I have this, and this. And you just have to just really trust yourself. Just listen, you know, kind of clear your mind, clear the chatter, the noises, and get kind of in a meditative state, and just like let your mind form a picture based on the ingredients that you have, and then kind of piece it together and see what you think. And you get better at it with experience. And sometimes you strike out. I got 2 giant squash from someone's garden, a neighbor's garden. I'd never cooked a zucchini that big before, and I had to throw it out because the skin was way too thick and it had seeds in it. They were like pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are good. You take them out and you can roast them on a pan. They're really good, but you don't eat them with the pumpkin. So it's just a bunch of tough skin and a bunch of seeds. I had to throw it away, and I learned my lesson. This one I will peel it, and I will scrape out the seeds on the inside, then cut it up, then boil it, and put salt and pepper on it. It'll be delicious. Because it was like the thickest, woodiest. I was like, wow, is this even edible? And the meat part tasted good. It'll work, and I learned something new. So sometimes you strike out, but generally this is going to be good, and it's really weird looking and original, but I'm using up leftovers, and you kind of learn things too.